After 12 lectures on Python theory, we are in a position to write our first program. Pause the video and go through the question. I hope you have gone through the question. Let's try solving it. Let's go step by step. So the first line of the question tells us that we have to input three numbers. Now we know how to accept input from the user. It is done using the input function. So let's use the input function. And like I had mentioned in the previous videos, in the earlier videos rather, we should prompt the user with an appropriate message. So we should say enter first number. So seeing this message, the user will be in a good position to enter an appropriate input. Now we know that the inputs that the user enter are in the string form. What we need to do is we need to see what is the question that is given to us. The question asks us to deal with numbers. So what we must do is we must take the user input and convert it into integer. So we must pass it to the int function. This is in a way we are typecasting it, the string value that is entered by the user, we are typecasting it into the integer form. And let's say we are storing it in a variable called var1. Similarly, what we'll do is we will accept two more inputs from the user. So I'll just copy paste this and I'll make the necessary changes. So this will be var2. Let's say this is var3. And let's say the statement is changed to second number and third number respectively. Now that we have three inputs from the user and that too in the correct integer form, let's look at the first instruction given to us. So we have to swap the first two numbers. So we know that from the first three lines of code that we have written so far, we can understand that the first and the second numbers are stored in variables 1 and 2 respectively. So the first number is stored in variable var1 and the second number is stored in variable var2. Now we have seen how to swap the values of two variables using one line of code, if you remember. So we can do var1 comma var2 is equal to var2 comma var1. Now what this will enable is the value of var2, as you can see, will be assigned to var1 and the value of var1 will be assigned to var2. As simple as that. This is the powerful feature of the assignment operator in Python. We can carry out such operations in a single line of code. Such swapping operations would require multiple statements in other programming languages, whereas in Python, this can be done using one line of code. Now, after we have swapped the first two numbers, the values of the first two numbers, we have been asked to add the third number to the first. So we know that the third number will be stored in the variable var3. We have to add the third number to the first. So the first number will be incremented by a factor of the value that is stored in variable var3. We have been asked to add third number to the first. So I've used the shorthand operator here, plus equal to, although we have not seen this in any of the previous videos. This operator plus equal to is same as writing var1 is equal to var1 plus var3. So we have been asked to add the third number to the first. That is exactly what we are doing. We are taking the value of var3, we are adding it with var1, and we are storing the result in var1 itself. So this can be accomplished using the shorthand operator plus equal to. Whenever you have the variable on the left hand side of the assignment operator same as one of the variables on the right hand side of the assignment operator, you can use the shorthand operator plus equal to. Not only plus equal to, you can use the shorthand operator with other arithmetic operators as well. So you can use minus equal to, something like minus equal to, you can use star equal to, divide equal to, as well as modulus equal to, right? So in this case, we will be doing plus equal to. Now, after we are done adding third number to the first, we'll have to multiply the second number by the third. So the second number multiplied by the third would be same as this statement. So this is same as taking the value of the variable var2, multiplying it with the variable var3 and storing the result in var2 itself. So this can be accomplished using the star equal to shorthand operator because it is a case of multiplication. That is exactly what we are doing. You can see that we are multiplying the second number, which is stored in var2, by the third number, var3, and storing the result in var2 itself. Although it has not been mentioned that you have to store the result in var2, but it's implied, right? When you're saying that you multiply the second number by the third, it automatically means that the result will be stored in the second number itself. Same with the second instruction. When you're saying add the third number to the first, it automatically means that you have to add up the third number with the first and store the result in the first variable itself. Now, after you're done with all these operations, you'll have to print the three numbers on the same line separated by the colon. So let's do that. So once again, the print function will come into the picture, and remember, we'll have to print the three variable values. So we have to print var1, and we'll have to print var2, and we'll have to print var3. And here we have to separate the values using a colon. So how do we do that? In the video on the print function, we had seen a parameter called sep, which is used for separator. So here we want to separate the values of the output using a colon. So we will pass the colon to the sep parameter of the print function. Now, if we do this, what happens is the outputs, that means the values of var1, var2, and var3 will be separated by a colon. Now, we are done with the fourth instruction as well. Let's try to execute this program. So executing this program would be same as executing this Jupyter Notebook cell. Let's see how it's done. Now they're asking for the first number. Let's take small values so that we can keep track of what's going on. Let's say that the first number is 4. Let's say that the second number is 5. And let's say the third number is 2. Now we are getting the answer as 782. Is it correct? Let's verify. The first step was multiply. In fact, not multiplying. The first step was to swap the first two numbers. So if we swap, then var1 would become 5 and var2 would become 4. Now then we are going for the next step, adding the third number to the first. So if you add the third number, which is 2, to the first number, which is no longer 4, mind you, it has been swapped, so it's 5. So if you're adding 5 and 2, you're getting 7. So the first number is now 7, and that is exactly what we are getting here. The value of the first variable var1 has come out to be 7, which is correct according to our calculations. Next, we have been asked to multiply the second number by the third. Now the second number refers to the variable var2. Currently, var2 after the swap operation contains the value 4. So if you take the value 4 and if you multiply it by 2, you get 8. And when you're printing the value of the second variable, which is stored in var2, you're getting 8. So once again, we are correct. And no changes, as you can see, have been done on the third variable, whose value is stored in the variable var3. As a result, it will remain unchanged. The input which we had given for the third variable or for the third number was 2, and the output remains the same. It is 2 itself. If you found this video helpful, do like it and subscribe to our channel. If you have any doubts, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I hope you found this video useful. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.